Hello, Kickball, and welcome to podcast number 98, 97, 90. Nobody gives a shit what number podcast it is. We care about what we're here to talk about, and that is Best of the West 2014, taking place in that city where there's a whole lot of drama, and it's very difficult to be a canine, the LBC, Long Beach, California. It has been a long time since we have had a Best of the West tournament. The last one was 2013. Of March, but due to the Arizona Long Beach switch to weather or whatnot, it's been damn near 18 months since the last Best of the West. In that amount of time, I have had 2 children and am still working off the postnatal weight. I am, of course, the Patty. Joining me from the East Coast is the gentleman in charge of the Kickball 365 circuit, always trying to keep this podcast rolling forward, despite the fact that I'm constantly interrupting with my inane comments, Mr. Matthew Admin Kemp. Say hi to the people, Matt.
Hi, guys. Thanks.
That's enough of that. Also joining me, not joining me from the East Coast is my frequent punching bag and person who's constantly hanging on to his own relevancy. Where the hell is Adam Adrock Murkowski, Macaroni? Hey, Macarena, I want him here so that I can make fun of him. God damn it. Joining me also on the West Coast is the event manager and co-captain of the Gargoyles. He's tall, he's bald, he can palm the ball. When he rings you on the phone, don't miss his call, Mr. Stephen Ozier. Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Patty. Doing good.
I'm exhausted.
On this podcast, so probably want to punt it to Matt and Stephen to discuss all of the event things, because after that introduction, I'm spent. I'm exhausted. I need to take a break. I need to take a drink of Jameson because I'm out of Fireball. If anybody is in the neighborhood, knows where I live, drop me off some Fireball because I am out of that tasty, delicious treat provided by one of our 365 National Tour sponsors. Whew. Gentlemen, take it away. What do we got going on in Long Beach this weekend?
Wow. Okay. Real quick, events happening in Long Beach this weekend. Of course, it has been 18 months since the last Best of the West. Moving it back to September, actually really kind of excited about it. Brings me back to my roots. The very first Best of the West was done in September, right after Labor Day. So looking forward to doing all that again. We've moved locations a little bit when it comes to the hotel. For those of you that have come before, we moved everything to downtown Long Beach. So that'll provide us with a lot more within walking distance for you people coming from out of town and a little bit better Long Beach experience. Kicking things off on Friday with our bar crawl, mini bar crawl and meet and greet. We're going to be in downtown Long Beach at Rock Bottom at 4, the Stave at 5, and then the official meet and greet is happening at Congregation starting at 6 p.m. Moving on to the tournament on Saturday. Saturday, the Fields of Marina Vista Park. If you've come here before, then you know the park. You love the park. It's going to be a great day as well. Something that we haven't done since the first Best of the West either is start games at 8 a.m. because it is September. We will be starting games at 8 a.m., people. We have a 6:57 sunset and no lights. And I do not want to accuracy kick in the dark, and I don't want to put any of you guys up for accuracy kick in the dark. So we will be starting pool play at 8 a.m. I'm sorry, go to sleep a few hours earlier on Friday, but we will be getting games at 8 a.m.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep. Stay up.
Provides object advantage to the East Coast teams that are coming over.
Wait, so now you're going to say Shockwave's going to win this tournament because it starts at 8 a.m.?
Yes, that is the only reason Shockwave will win this tournament is because it starts at 8 a.m. There is no other possible reason that they can be doing so well.
Okay, so we will have some people out there, early morning breakfast for you guys, and we'll also have some shakes and some protein things happening for you all as well. So the 8 a.m. start time get a little bit of energy in your system. So good luck with that. Saturday, after we've crowned a winner for Best of the West Co-Ed, we are going to the Federal Bar. The Federal Bar after party starts at 9 p.m. It's also downtown, walking distance from the host hotel. Great bar, great music, fantastic drink specials. 3, 4, 5 is all you have to remember. $3 mixed drinks, $4 beers, $5 shots of Fireball. Should be simple enough. Go ahead and skip the line. You have your Best of the West kickball wristband. Admin, can you show that to them real fast? All right, so you'll have your Best of the West kickball wristband. Go ahead and skip the line. No cover for you as well, and that'll end up our Saturday night. Sunday morning, the women's event, 11 teams. Really excited about this as well. It's at a different park. It's at McAuliffe, so please be aware of your emails and your Facebook. All that information is already up there. I'll also send an email out on Saturday night to remind everyone that it is a different park from Saturday. Games start at 10 a.m., ladies. Games start at 10 a.m., and then that'll pretty much be all day going into 6:37-ish. If you're still hanging around on Sunday evening, feel free to come and join us for the women's after party at Panama Joe's. That's also the first day of football, so we'll be sure that we keep you updated on games throughout the day on Sunday. And then the after party Sunday night, Panama Joe's, 2-for-1 drink specials, free appetizer platters. And if you're still here on Monday, go home. So that's what the tournament outlook is looking like.
That's awesome. Steven, we're looking forward to it. You've got, let's see, how many teams? You've got 15 teams on Saturday, and you've got 11 on Sunday?
Yes, 15 co-ed teams on Saturday, and realistically we had to cap. We would have been around 17 or 18, but again, you know, field limitations and also the no lights in the sunset. I'm sorry, guys, but we capped it at 15, just kind of where we have to be. And then Sunday we have 11 women's teams. Really excited about that. Our first women's event that I'm hosting. Everything's lined up smoothly so far. We got a great set of refs for you guys. Let me say that again. Both Saturday and Sunday, we have a great group of refs for you guys, so I'm really looking forward to things going smoothly. Of course, you're going to yell, you're going to scream, but I stand behind these guys 100%, so looking forward to that too.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so right now you've got a couple of folks watching the show, and they're likely asking us to shut up so they can do the pools, so we can get to the pools on the schedule. Shall we get started?
Indeed.
Patty, are you ready?
While we're digging up the hat to do the draw, I do have to pose the question: is the reason that the women's tournament is starting at 10 and the co-ed tournament is starting at 8 on Saturday? Did you want to give the women a couple extra hours to make sure their hair and makeup was in good shape?
Really?
Is that a sexist comment? I can never tell. I never know. Is that inappropriate? Am I going to get some phone calls for that one?
HR. Can we get HR on the line?
HR.
Yeah. I love it. I'm thrilled you guys are starting at 10. Georgia was at 9 a.m. The other one, Jacksonville, was at 9 a.m. D.C. was at 10 a.m. This is at 10 a.m. And then the national championship is actually at 12 p.m. We're thinking about moving it to 11, but right now the tournament's supposed to start at 12. So anybody who's going to San Antonio and you're playing on Sunday and you're thinking of making your flight back, don't even think about it. We also will have a after party Sunday night. So this is a tip for everyone's awareness if you hadn't already noticed, but the women's event in San Antonio does start at 10. Details for that event are coming soon, but right now let's get to the matter at hand. Let's do your rules for Best of the West. So we'll walk through the 15 teams we've got. I'll go through the list, and I'll turn it to you guys as I prepare for the random draw for the bins, and then you guys can come on how you want. Starting at the top, rankings. Again, using the circuit ranking system. Number 1, Shockwave out of Maryland. 2, Sofa King out of California. 3, Riot out of California. Followed by that, you've got Brew Crew Cartel, Crooked Roosters, The Gargoyles, Gordon Bombays, all out of California. Guapo making its way from Missouri. Glad to see them making the trip. Thunder Buddies out of California. Strike Force, NorCal Nightmare, Army of Darkness, Base Kick City, all out of California. And the 2 teams we know nothing about, but our experts here will help us understand who these teams are, the South Bayside Tigers and Stuff in That Duff, also from California. Guys, got a phenomenal list of teams. What should we expect?
This is going to be I'm kind of leaning towards this might be one of the better, more competitive tournaments on the West Coast that we've seen in a while. I mean, obviously, as far as the local people go, we've got Sofa, Riot, Brew Crew, all very strong. Also, got the guys from Arizona crossing the border to come in and play. Crooked Roosters, I think, are due to make some noise in a tournament eventually. Is it going to be this one? Who knows? I'm not sure. They've got a lot of talent on the squad. And then also, I mean, you can't discount Gargoyles, Gordon Bombays, Thunder Buddies. I mean, these are all solid teams. I mean, we know that, Sofa, Riot, BCC, they're generally going to be at the top of the game, and they're going to be the tough ones to get by. But Gargoyles, Thunder Buddies, Gordon Bombays, any given moment, one of those guys one of those teams is going to surprise you. So that alone is interesting, and that doesn't even count Guapo coming over that's got two of my National Kickball Man crushes on it, Chip and my snuggle buddy Dave. And then we've got Shockwave coming, based off of a Transformer from the 1980s, having no less than 3 of my National Kickball Man crushes on it. Shockwave, of course, runner-up last year in New Orleans, currently at the head of the standings for the national tour. I mean, I think a lot of the SoCal teams are really looking forward for a chance to play against them. Generally speaking, a gun that big comes in, everybody's like, no, we do not want to play Shockwave. Do not put Shockwave in our pool. But I think a lot of the teams in SoCal really want to get in a pool with Shockwave because, honestly, I think all of us want to test ourselves against him. I mean, we've heard and seen so much about him. Let's see what we can do with him on the field. So very much looking forward to all of these teams that are here, including some familiar names: Strike Force, NorCal Nightmare, Army of Darkness, Base Kick City. I mean, it's kind of a veritable who's who of the West.
Steven, what do you think? You've got, I mean, Patty talked on Shockwave making the trip, which is awesome for the circuit to see teams go completely opposite coasts. What's exciting you the most about the teams you've got?
What's exciting me the most is I think we're going to get, hopefully, let me knock on wood before we actually do the bin draw. I think we're going to get some pretty even pools. There's a lot of strong teams in a lot of positions here, and the best part about it is whenever you break them down and you put teams into certain pools, you're not going to really have, I'm sure teams are going to hope that they play this team over that team, but essentially in each bin you have a lot of evenly matched pools, or a lot of evenly matched teams, which is going to result in some really good pool play games. And that's really what I'm looking forward to, is because it's who's going to be able to show up and handle the pressure and the moment on that day. Of course, you have your standout. Shockwave should definitely come out and make some waves, a la 3 hours ahead from years ago. I know you guys have been waiting on me to say that and waiting for a team to come back from Best of West for so long. So they're definitely going to come and make some noise. Sofa, and what I'm really looking forward to as well is Riot. Riot has done some very interesting things with their roster for this tournament, and they're going to come ready to play. And so they always make a strong showing. And Brick and Crew and Don and all of that, man, it's always made for some great games for them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them as well. Patty hit on a lot of good things as far as any California team at any given time. There's a lot of people that are right in the middle of the pack when it comes to being that next elite team to kind of step up with SOFA and with BCC of past and Riot making that charge now. So that clump of teams right there in the middle, Gargoyles, Bombays, Thunder Buddies, Strike Force, they're all kind of poised and ready to strike and ready to attack, and it's just somebody's going to play big, and it's going to be really interesting to see how things shake up. So excited for the play at all.
Very cool. Well, if you're watching this at home or on your mobile device, scoreboard365.com, or if you look below me, there's a link, bit.ly/BOTW 2014 scores. It is cap sensitive, case sensitive, so please make sure you use capital letters. Guys, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Bin 1, we already have our top 3 teams sorted in pools A, B, and C, so that's Shockwave in A, Nova King in B, and Riot in Pool C. I have my trusty Nats hat as they dominate the major leagues. And we're going to pull Bin 2, Brew Crew Cartel, Crooked Roosters, and the Gargoyles. The first one we've got is the Gargoyles.
God damn it! You guys get to play Shockwave. What the hell's going on?
I'll take it, man. It's always awesome to play some people you haven't played yet and see some new faces. So
I know. No, you guys are going to have a blast.
All right. Now going in Pool B with Sofa is Brew Crew Cartel.
Oh, good. They're going to be thrilled with that matchup.
Note to self, put Andy on Pool B to ref.
That's a good choice. That is a...
And then that leaves Riot, or excuse me, not Riot, Crooked Roosters down in Pool C.
Good. Well, you know what? Brew Crew and Sofa, they've got nobody to blame but themselves on that one. I mean, if Brew Crew had just played a little bit better and beat Riot in one of these tournaments, then they would have been ahead of Riot and wouldn't have had this danger of pool.
All right, Bin 3, we have the Gordon Bombays, El Guapo, and Thunder Buddies. Are we ready?
Please say Bombays. Please say Bombays.
Please do it.
Bombay.
All right.
Come on, admin.
Guapo.
God damn it! We got 2 teams coming from different conferences, and they're in the same damn pool.
Pool
It was a flawed system.
We have I invite you to email the rules committee, and we will discuss at the upcoming rules summit.
That may or may not have already happened, Matt.
Yeah, you did, and I appreciate that. Gordon Bombay's.
Of course. Sure. You know what? Don't even bother drawing for. Well, no, I guess. You know what? Put Thunder Buddies in Pool 4 and put them in Pool B just to even it out. Oh, for Christ's sake. Can we just call Pool B like, you know, the LA Basin Pool?
You did knock on wood, right, Steven?
I did.
Bin 4, I have Strike Force, NorCal, and Army of Darkness.
All right, let's see who gets to play all the teams from different states.
Pool A, Strike Force.
Oh, well, okay, good. At least there's a little bit of synergy there, and the Gargoyles get to play a bunch of people that they already know.
Pool B. What do you think I'm going to draw? We hadn't tried that yet this episode.
I will not participate.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Hey, hooray.
Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness.
The NorCal Nightmare goes in with Roosters, Riot, Thunder Buddies.
Not Arizona, California. Yeah. Say that again.
Yeah. Then that means that puts NorCal Nightmare in Pool C with Riot, Roosters, and Thunder Buddies.
It does. All right. Final pool or bin. Excuse me. We've got the open teams, which we've already drawn, and we have South Bayside and then Stuff in that Tough. And our other team is Base Kick City. Take NorCal out of here. All right. So what makes Pool A? That's a pretty tough pool.
But it's a fun pool. Look at them. They're from everywhere.
All right. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, all right. So, okay, that's actually also kind of wow. Hang on, let me check rosters.
Seaside Tigers are our 5th pick and final pick of Pool A. Pool B, next year I'll probably invest in a better system than hats.
Drawing out of a hat.
Stuff in that Duff.
All right. So Pool A is the International Long Beach Pool, so that's good.
Okay. Base Kick City will be going down to Pool C. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there are your pools for the 2014 Best of the West. I'll read through it, and then I'll turn it to you guys for discussion. Pool A, Shockwave, Gargoyles, El Guapo, Strike Force, and South Bayside Tigers. 5 teams in the pool. They will all play each other and advance to the limbs. Pool B, Sofa King, Brew Crew, Gordon Bombay's, Army of Darkness, and Stuff in that Duff, all from the state of California. Pool C, Riot, Crooked Roosters, Thunder Buddies, NorCal Nightmare, and Base Kick City. Guys, what are you thinking?
Well, before we even start,
talk about Pool A.
Pool A, you know what? I'm excited about the matchups. It's going to be a tough pool, but at the end of the day, the comment still stands. You know, it's a lot of talent, and I can already hear Jason Benoit asking, well, why don't we just play our pool in LA? Because no one has to drive. However, this is part of what happens whenever you come to a bin draw. You know what? I'm liking how things shaped up for our pool in Pool A. I'm excited to play some guys that we don't get to normally play. At the end of the day, Strike Force is like, who knows which team is going to show up with them. They've been great in some games, and they've been not so great in other games. And so against us, against the Gargoyles, they always bring their A game. And so, you know, it's going to be a tough, fun day, but this is why we play, right, to have a little bit of competition. So I'm excited about it.
My prediction for Pool A is I see Shockwave going 4-0. Gargoyles are either going 3-1 or 2-1-1. Similarly, El Guapo 3-1, 2-1-1. I don't know if Strike Force is going to have it this tournament. And the South Bayside Tigers, hey, they get to play some people from other states. So there you go. It's kind of a tough break for the Bayside Tigers, but it should be enjoyable. That's a fun pool, an interesting pool, and the second easiest pool to predict. So there you go.
I was just updating, so if you're looking at the standings, you now see it actually reflected as far as their pools. I'm excited to see this. Pool A, it's unfortunate to see the two teams coming the furthest away to actually be stuck in the same pool. At the same time, Guapo hasn't really seen Shockwave. I don't have scores in front of me to fact check her. But that is going to be a good test for Guapo. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but all these teams, most of these teams, well, with the exception of some of these teams are going to Founders Cup, so they'll have a chance to compete at a higher level before the Circuit Cup. Teams like Guapo that might not be going to Founders Cup, they're going to want to be tested and have face a reality check on the field before they come down to San Antonio in November. So if I'm Guapo, Gargoyle, Strikeforce, and Bayside, I'm going to see the best of the best to prepare me for the Cup.
Yeah.
It might suck if you're traveling all the way across the country, and since we've already said Shockwave's going to win because they've got the 3 hours ahead advantage starting at 8 a.m., that's a hell of a test. It sucks, yes, with Pool B and Pool C not having any mixture, but if you've got, not them 3 teams coming from out of the state, and South California kickball is really popular, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into Pool B. Sofa King, which just recently registered for the Circuit Cup Championship. Congratulations to them. They unfortunately forfeit most of their points earned, but they did, I think, claim at least Denver, so that's good. As a reminder, if you are thinking about going to the Cup and you've been to a couple circuit events, after 30 days you lose the performance points. You do keep strength of event scores and your travel bonus if you travel, but you don't keep if you got first place or all the pool play wins you had or any of the eliminations wins. Those get eliminated. So it's unfortunate. That's our role, but it's still SOFA. So regardless if they're number 1 in the national standing rankings at the end of the year, which they've been the last year at least.
Last year.
Or 20th, they're still going to the Cup. They're still in, and it'll be great. But as far as Pool B goes, Brew Crew's looking solid. Bombay's as well. Army of Darkness, I'm just going to not comment on them this tournament because every time I seem to think I pick them and something happens. But that's going to be a tough one. I think Brew Crew and SOFA have it made, though.
I'm a little bit leery to even pretend to start to pick a winner out of Pool B. I'm not going to officially say it's the pool of death. I'm not ready to make that type of statement yet. But there's going to be a lot of tough competition. I really think SOFA, BCC, or Bombay's, like who all 3 of those guys have a really good chance of taking that pool. While SOFA seems like the clear favorite, you know what? Sometimes I've seen them get shaky in 8 a.m. games. I've seen them be shaky early in the morning. So, if a team can kind of especially a dangerous team like Bombay's, if they happen to pull SOFA in the 8 a.m. game and SOFA's still a little bit asleep, they definitely have a chance of sneaking away with them right there. So I think that one's a little bit more up in the air than people are comfortable admitting, but it's still going to make for some great games.
Agreed.
You're right. Yeah, it is kind of tricky to predict. I mean, on paper there are some easy numbers to try and lay down, but you're right. I mean, especially with this tournament, it's all a matter of who blinks first in which game. So yeah, predicting a winner, don't bother. The one prediction that you did make, Stephen, that is correct is it's not just going to be one. I predict there's going to be a few people making the usual grumble about, okay, why didn't we just stay in LA and play? Because obviously SOFA, Brew Crew, Bombay's, a lot of those players play league play together. Interestingly enough, so do the players from Stuff in That Duff. That's a team, a new team made up of a bunch of people who are known to SoCal Kickball, a bunch of players who play in multiple leagues. It looks like this is the first time that they are coming together as a team for a circuit tournament under Captain Casey Dignan, who has captained a couple of teams, played in a number of leagues. They're not. I would say that Stuff in That Duff is not going to be the typical new team that just shows up and gets their ass whooped because they don't know what they're doing. They're going to show up. They're going to know what they're doing, but against the caliber of squads that they're up against, that I think more than anything will give them a tough time. But yeah, as far as the pool, it's not the pool of death. It's the pool of Los Angeles and Valley adjacent areas. So there you go. As was mentioned, I'm not going to make any complaints about all of us there other than the universe hates us because, as was mentioned, yes, there's a million California teams in this tournament. There's going to be a bunch of California teams play each other. Long Beach is not that far of a drive. I do it every Saturday anyway, so I got no problems with it. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing every Saturday, playing kickball down in Long Beach.
Don't forget, if you're watching this on the Hangout page, we do have the question system running. So the first question from Dave Sierra, thumbs up on the Brewers colors on the wristband.
Yes.
Something fancy. We'll give you that one. And then the second question, also from Dave, he asked the question, aren't the Crooked Roosters in the Army of Darkness from Arizona? Kill me with the technicalities hashtag. Yeah, I think you're correct, and I just made the change. Guys, am I right on that? I always forget about Army of Darkness.
I can never remember if Army of Darkness is another Arizona team or another one of the NorCal teams.
They are. Army of Darkness is an Arizona team. They have a couple of sprinkled LA players on there, but they're primarily Arizona team.
Yeah, so Dave, we give you brownie points for checking that. We fixed it on the standings. Thank you so much.
Nice. So we've got 2.5 Arizona teams at this tournament. That's great.
Given that. All right, Pool C. Riot, Crooked Roosters, Thunder Buddies, NorCal Nightmare, and Base Kick City. Thoughts?
I'll get started with this one. This one is this is the most up-in-the-air pool in the tournament. Obviously, we've got Riot, who has done very well in the past couple of tournaments, and even better when they've got Brick with them. But then they'll do weird things like shit the bed and pool play and get Mercy 10-0. So, you know, they're still fighting with just a tad of inconsistency, but who knows, maybe they're over their inconsistency at this point. Crooked Roosters, like I said, strong squad, waiting for them to do something. Thunder Buddies, another strong squad that you know, just keep looking to crack another step forward. NorCal Nightmare, we haven't seen them. I can't remember if we saw them in Arizona, or I'm sorry, in San Diego or not. But they always have the potential to be competitors, and you know, they've actually done well at some tournaments too. And then Base Kick City out of California, they were at San Diego. They got whooped up pretty bad at San Diego, but they do have players who know the game, and now that they've got a tournament under their belt, they could actually cause some trouble and make some stuff happen. So this pool is the toughest to predict. I think this one, more than any, is subject to who shows up to play and who doesn't, because all of these teams in this pool have two faces. They've got the days where they can show up and surprise the hell out of everybody by really kicking ass, and they've got days where they can show up and surprise the hell out of everybody by completely shitting the bed all day. So I've got 0 predictions for this pool.
Wow, that's interesting, Patty. I think that this Saturday is going to be a day where Riot shows up and runs the fucking, like, just runs the pool. I'm looking at Riot going 4-0. I know these guys. You know, they're coming off what happened in Denver and then also in San Diego, and they might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You know, they picked up some key people that are playing with them this tournament that they're adding to the roster. You know, in Brick and Smook and guys like that. And I think they're going to come well prepared and ready to go. You know, ready to have a little bit of fun. One thing's for certain, they're not. Riot. This is the first year of Best of the West that Riot isn't going to have to play on those upper fields there at Marina Vista Park that have all the crooked holes in them.
They're going to be so sad.
Yeah, they're going to come down and they're going to be ready to go. And I'm looking at Riot going 4-0. I think Crooked Roosters and Thunder Buddies are going to be more mirror images of each other. They both have the potential of going 3-1 or 2-1-1. And then NorCal Nightmare and BKC are going to be on the bottom half of that. So that's how I see that pool shaping up. Riot, don't prove me wrong.
All right, guys, very nice. All right, so I'm going to run through really quick. First out, shout out to Guapo for the best party face you can think of. You like that, don't you?
Dave, bring me one of those shirts. Bring me one of those shirts this weekend, Dave. I will give you an extra 5 minutes of cuddle time in the lovely California sun.
But shout out, I brought it to the beach. I had to make sure I showed it on the show. All right, so we've talked through the teams. We've talked through the pools. And I would say we got 4 minutes or so for a quick little buy or sell. So buy or sell, and I'll run through some things. You say you buy the idea or you sell the idea. You've seen this all the time. Buy or sell, the final 4 is going to include Shockwave, Sofa, Riot, and Brew Crew. Or do you think somebody else is going to get in there? Steven?
I'll buy that. Sorry.
Steven, up to you.
Steven, I'm selling that. I like 3 of those. I'm not fully convinced that it's going to be Brew Crew. I will take Shockwave. I will take Sofa. I will take Riot. I'm not convinced the 4th is going to be Brew Crew. I think that they're going to leave the door open and somebody's going to have a pretty good day. And, you know, I think a team like the Gargoyles, like the Bombays, gets in there at that 4th spot this weekend.
Patty?
I will buy those for the Final Four, mostly because when we last saw Brew Crew Cartel, they were in Denver and they didn't have other Patty. They've got a player on their squad by the name of Patty who is really sort of a game changer for them amidst an already pretty stacked lineup, and he will be there at this tournament because all of the local people will have their access to their full rosters. So I'm going to buy. I'm going to say it's those four in the finals.
All right. Moving on to the next question, Patty. We'll start with you. Remember, the top 8 advance to the elimination round at this tournament. Of the 5 to 8 teams, that's Crooked, Roosters, the Gargoyles, Bombays, and Guapo. Do those 4 teams get in, or is someone behind them, Thunder Buddy, Strike Force, NorCal, Army of Darkness, Base Kick City, South Bay Side, or Stuff in the Duff get in? By yourself.
Yeah, that's really tough to say. Of the list that you just put out, I think that there's 9 teams who have a real viable shot of getting into the top 8. Shockwave, Sofa, Riot, Brew Crew, Roosters, Gargoyles, and then Bombays, Guapo, Thunder Buddies. Of the bottom the bottom 5. The people that we did not predict, or you and I did not call for the Final Four. I mean, it's a 5-way coin flip between Roosters, Gargoyles, Bombays, Guapo, Thunder Buddies. Again, it's who has the day, who shows up that day, and who decides to take a shit. So, yeah.
Steven?
I'm buying that. I think it's pretty straightforward. The top 8 that are currently top 8 are going to end up being the ones that make eliminations. I think Thunder Buddies, Strike Force, NorCal Nightmare. Those are really the only 3 that we would even start to even put into the conversation with making eliminations. And I think that they'll have good days, but I'm seeing a little bit of them shooting themselves in the foot in some situations, and so I think the top 8 are going to be the top 8 that go ahead and move forward.
All right, buy or sell. Going back to you, Steven. Of the number 1 seeds in each pool, Shockwave, Sofa, and Riot, are all 3 of these teams going to go undefeated?
Oh, sell. Absolutely not. No way. I don't. I think Shockwave. Well, first of all, I'm in a pool with Shockwave. I'm never, ever going to pick someone else over myself in a head-to-head game. So, I think while others may, I think that we're going to give Shockwave some hell. I'm looking forward to that. Riot, you already guys know how I feel about that as far as them running the table there in Pool C. I still think that although Sofa is number 2 seed, history has shown us that early game for Sofa gives them trouble. So I think that they go 3-1. I think they go 3-1 in that Pool B.
Very interesting. All right, Patty, same.
I also sell. I think Shockwave is going to go 4-0, but Sofa and Riot, each of them have a possibility to either lose or tie a game.
Well, very cool.
Yeah, I'll sell.
Well, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Steven, looking forward to a phenomenal event. Social events planned are epic. The weather, I assume, is going to be gorgeous as always.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm in Delaware. The weather's gorgeous. It's 95 though.
What are you doing in Delaware?
The beach, like over there.
Why are you doing this on the beach?
You found me though. I'm still podcasting on vacation.
Very true.
So this weekend coming up is going to be awesome. If you're not going to be there, scoreboard365.com. That's how you track the scores for both events on Saturday and Sunday. WatchKickball.com. When it's available, assuming cell coverage is fine and dandy, we will have it posted. We've already set up the event on live stream. Just follow us there. In the moment, Brick or Tim or anybody who's got our account and a mobile device that has power, they will stream it. Typically, towards the elimination round is when you'll see that. Guys, it'll be a lot of fun. Shall we move on to the women's event?
Well, right before we get to the women's event, I do have one actually accurate prediction to make in regards to the co-ed event. Okay. And that is both Shane, Lost Sage, Dizan, and I, we're both going to be playing in the finals. So you won't have the 2 of us doing the spectacular color commentary for the live stream and recorded final game. For that, we apologize, but hey, what can you do? Shane and I are both too good of players. Even if we are not on the teams that are in the finals, Shane and I are going to be facing off against one another in the finals.
Thank you for that public announcement.
Yes. So, yes, to the ladies.
To the ladies. All right, so moving on to the women's event. Stephen, as I prepare, why don't you walk us through again really quick, start time, walk us through the bins and how we're about to do this random draw for the women's event.
Okay, so we have 11 teams going into the women's event for Sunday. The start time is 10 a.m. The pool play games will begin at 10 a.m. at McAuliffe Field. The directions and address and stuff is all in the event already. So here are your 11 teams. We have Shockwave Honeys from the East Coast, Mile High Kickball Club from Denver, Girl Problems here from LA, Beaver Fever from LA, Haboobs from Arizona, Pink Ladies, a team out of Texas, Lady Riot from San Diego, Boobs Over Balls from here in Long Beach, Mathletes from LA, Dirty Diamonds from Greater LA, and then Babs from Greater LA as well. So what you're going to see from the bins, or you're going to see 5 bins, okay? So essentially we're going to take these 11 teams and we're going to split them up into 2 pools. One pool will have 5 teams, one pool will have 6 teams. The way that we're going to do the bins is we're going to try and keep a little bit of regional protection along with competitive protection, okay? So we're going to try and set it up in a way that allows both pools to be somewhat evenly matched and then also have some sort of regional protection in them, so we're not seeing all the California teams in one pool and then all the other teams somewhere in the other pool. So our 5 bins are as follows. We have a USA, and first of all, let me apologize if the tiering system hurts any of you ladies' feelings. This is just based on information that we have, and that's all I have to say about that. So we have a USA top tier bin. There are 2 teams in that bin, Shockwave Honeys and Mile High Kickball. Clearly, Shockwave Honeys is on the top of that list, and then Mile High Kickball won the Kansas City circuit tournament. So USA top bin, those 2 teams. In the California top tier bin, we have Girl Problems and Beaver Fever. Girl Problems, although they were not circuit events, they've pretty much won every women's tournament that has been held in California when it comes to kickball. Beaver Fever is a very close second to that. So that's the California top tier. The USA second tier bin is Haboobs out of Arizona and Pink Ladies out of Texas. The California second tier bin, there's 3 teams in this bin, Lady Riot out of San Diego, Boobs Over Balls out of Long Beach, and then Mathletes out of here in LA as well. Have a somewhat same level as far as competition is concerned. And then the last bin, the CA third tier bin, Dirty Diamonds and Babs. So essentially, one of these teams will go to Pool A, one team will go to Pool B, and we'll have some sort of and then we'll have some sort of regional protection and competitive level protection. Hopefully that was all understandable. If you have any questions, please feel free to email admin and not me. Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have a question, Stephen.
Hold on really quick. Just to be clear, I want to make some things before we move on and then get to your question.
Sure.
Bin 1, just to make sure we're all on the same page, bin 1 in co-ed typically means the top seeds, we automatically place them in bins. In this case, bin 1 is just bin 1, so Shockwave is not A right now, and Mile High is not B. Now, I might draw A and B, but just to be clear, that's not how it works. So we'll go through each bin, and we'll pull one name, and the other name goes to the other one. When we get to bin 4, we have 3 teams. We'll pull Lady Riot, we'll pull Boobs, and then Mathletes will pull the A and B. All right?
Correct.
So that will determine the pool that has 6, and then we'll get to bin 5, which is Babs or Dirty Diamonds. Over to you, Patty.
I was going to say, these seem like well thought out bins in terms of both ranking and regional protectionism. Stephen, where did you come up with this amazing idea, and why haven't you let Kickball 365 know about this?
Oh, well, Kickball 365 already does a fantastic job at how they rank and put teams in the bin. And so with the female tournament, with this being our first one, we've already gone through the hardships of terribly ranking teams and then having to deal with the backlash whenever it's the first event or we don't know a whole lot about the teams. And so what we wanted to do is I went to my Asian, of course, those that don't know who my Asian is, that's my beautiful wife, Cora Kamioka. And I said, hey, babe, this is what we're kind of looking at. This is the idea. What do you think? And she said, I think that's a pretty damn good idea. and now here we are.
Pass the wife test. That's an impressive test to pass.
It is.
Well, let's also point out for all the women's events this year, we had no rankings, so we've been doing something very similar, working with the event manager. And then, again, for 2015, maybe we do incorporate some sort of regional protection. Now that we have so much data on these teams, people like Patty won't yell at us.
Hey, I'm just busting balls. I gotta have my soapbox. I mean, I don't have the I don't have the soapbox of one bounce bra. I don't have the soapbox of being like an incredibly competitive player. So I've got to have something that identifies me to the rest of the kickball world. And so I'm the regional protectionism guy with great hair.
Well, I think what we'll probably do, just as a little preview of things to come. So this weekend coming up, we've got Best of the West. Weekend after that is Virginia Beach. Weekend after that is nothing, thankfully, but the weekend after that is Orlando. If you've never been part of the circuit or are curious how everything works behind the scenes, we have a rules summit in the month of October. And right now on the forum, if you're not a member of the forum, please join, post, or lurk. It's fine. We love you anyways, just for lurking. We're starting to post questions to the community to say, well, what do you think about this rule change or this tweak? We're probably going to have a podcast before the Rules Summit just so a lot of us can get out and discuss these ideas. One of the ideas that keeps coming up, and I'm just going to drop the bomb and then we'll get to the random draw, is switching to a 9-fielder system, removing one male. But we'll move to bin 1. So,
really? Yeah, okay.
He's going to drop that and walk away. That's how you feel?
Let's talk about the ladies. Wow.
But there are going to be several topics where we will do our due diligence, talk through it, make sure we get both sides. We'll ask captains. We'll ask the rules committee, which is 7 people right now, and we'll have a conversation. So if you're interested in rules and think you have some feedback that you think we should listen to, by all means, shoot us an email at info@kickball365.com, and then we'll discuss it on the forum, on the show, and then we'll have the Rules Summit. So I got my PR announcement out of the way.
There you go. Let's do some lady bins.
Lady
that sounds dirty.
Lady bin number 1. Start time 10 a.m. Pool A. Shockwave Funnies.
Hey.
And if you're trying to track this at home, it's not public right now, but we are tracking it, so you don't have to. So don't worry.
And there's a chance somebody will post it on the interwebs at some point before next Saturday or Sunday, as it were.
We'll post it immediately following this podcast. How's that?
Perfect.
All right. So Shockwave Honeys goes to Pool A. Mile High goes to Pool B.
Correct. Give me a second. I'm going to put it here.
Reset the hat.
Yeah. Mile High. Mile High Honeys? No, Mile High Football Kickball Club.
Mile High Kickball Club.
Mile High Kickball Club.
Shockwave Honeys.
It's good to go. All right, Pool B. We've got Beaver Fever and Girl Problems.
Yep.
I have shorthand on mine. Ready?
Okay.
Pool A.
Very exciting. It's great television here.
We love it. Beaver Fever.
Okay.
And then Girl Problems goes to Pool B. Good?
Is there a pun on haboobs that I'm not getting?
Yes, Patty, thank you for asking. In Arizona, a haboob is a unpredictable, unexpected either sandstorm or like flash, thunderstorm. What do they call it? It's not a tsunami. That's like a monsoon. There it is. So that's the nickname for that. Haboob.
Okay.
Bin 3, Haboob and Pink Ladies. I have Pink Ladies.
How come there's a lady Texas team coming to this tournament, but no guy Texas team or no co-ed Texas team?
This Pink Ladies team, it's from a group called TTX Kickball. They actually run their own set of leagues and tournaments and stuff. And the guy that set it up said he's got a lot of girls that want to come out and play, and that's how they got here.
That's awesome.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right, so bin 4. So right now, for those watching, Pool A, Shockwave Honeys, Beaver Fever, Pink Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Pool B, Mile High Kickball Club, Girl Problems, and Haboobs.
The hand gestures really helped people understand what you were talking about there, Matt.
All right. Boobs over balls, bin 4, Pool A. All right, and then next we have Lady Riot.
Lady Riot.
Lady Riot. And then it gives us athletes, but we're going to do A, B. And let's see where they go. They're going to Pool B.
Okay.
All right, so Mathletes goes to Pool B along with Lady Riots. All right. And last but not least, you've got the Babs and the Dirty Diamonds. We have Babs in A and Dirty Diamonds in B.
Steven, do you have which area Babs and Dirty Diamonds are sort of based out of in California?
They're both based out of LA.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go. So not NorCal, not another San Diego team, not one of the Orange County LA or Orange County Long Beach-ish teams, but both out of LA. Gotcha. Thank you very much.
So, Steven, I defer to you to post this to the Facebook group to spread the word.
Will do.
Sweet. So, those of you at home watching Pool A, Shockwave Honeys, I just went away. Shockwave Honeys, Beaver Fever, Pink Ladies, Boobs Over Balls, and Babs will be Mile High Kickball Club, Girl Problems, and Boobs, a lot of boobs, Lady Riot, Mathletes, and Dirty Diamonds. And if you're wondering, Pool B, 1 and 6 don't play each other, 2 and 5 don't play each other, 3 and 4 do not play each other. And actually, because it's a women's event, they will play 3 games. Not 4. No, actually, no. Stephen, I take that back. You're going with 4.
We are. We're guaranteeing 4 pool play games, and then we're taking top 8 to eliminations.
Thank you. Some events have 3, some events have 4. So yes, ladies, you will play 4 games in pool play, and then only the top 8 advance. So 3 get dropped.
Correct.
And it's the same rules as co-ed. 5 innings in pool play, 6 in the limbs. Nothing special. You're playing what you ladies asked for, which is circuit competitive rules, and we're good to go.
Yep.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this.
It's going to be a good weekend. There's a lot going on. Now, I mean, Steven, why didn't you work in a Monday fun day?
Because at some point in time, I've got to go to real work.
Hey, I do too, but I mean, come on. If you'd set up a Disneyland excursion for Monday after the tournament, I'd have played hooky, and you would have too. Don't lie to me.
I would have. That'll be something to think about next year. Give them a Monday ditch day to Disney.
Dude, I want to go with the Shockwave Honeys on the Winnie the Pooh ride.
I bet you do, Patty. I bet you do.
What? Well, honey? They like honey? That's how Pooh spells honey? Come on, this is making sense. I'm sporting Mickey today.
If you're watching this at home, we have the Q&A open. We'll leave it open for a few minutes. But we'll do the last round. Sorry to get off the Winnie Pooh kick. Steven, any parting thoughts for your event, for the teams coming? Any last-minute reminders for folks who might be attending the event?
Yeah, a couple of things. Really excited about the lineup for both days. I'm really excited to be hosting a women's event. I'm hoping that it goes extremely smoothly. You guys have been great so far with registration and getting everyone involved and asking all the questions you need to. Really looking forward to that. The Saturday co-ed thing, by now, we've been doing this long enough. We know how to run that day. I will say this, a reminder, be sure that each teammate individually checks in before their pool play games. You are now required to come to the HQ tent and check in. At that particular point in time, we will also give you your Best of the Rest wristband. That will be very important to getting to the Federal Bar later on that night. For those of you that have come before, the bars that we've gone to, PJ's and Gaslamp, it's been very willy-nilly. As long as you walk to the door and say, hey, I'm with Kickball, I know Steven, they let you right in. It's going to be a little bit different this Saturday. We're going to a downtown Long Beach bar. You're going to need that wristband to go ahead and get in. So those are my reminders. Looking forward to the weekend. We've got a great lineup socially. Hopefully we'll be able to do our best to make a smooth day on Saturday and Sunday for you guys. And come enjoy Long Beach a little bit. Come welcome to the city. Ask me any questions you need to. They've got great bike rentals and walking paths in downtown. And if you're here early on Thursday, there's a great dueling piano bar less than half a mile from the hotel called Sergeant Pepper's. So if you're down that way and you're in the Pike, go to Sergeant Pepper's on Thursday night. It's a good time.
I have two questions for you, Stephen. One regarding the event and one personal. The first one regarding the event is the only you have to check in and get your wristbands Saturday morning. There's not going to be any check-in option at the meet and greet Friday evening.
That is correct. I will not have wristbands on me at the meet and greet because the reason for that is when you check in on Saturday morning, you also have to sign next to your name on your roster. That is a kind of a backup to letting us know that you have reviewed the waiver rules and you signed your life away to play kickball. So that's why I won't have anything on me on Friday. So you'll have to do it Saturday morning.
And the personal question, is this the first Best of the West tournament that you've actually been able to play in?
Yes, Patty. Thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Very first Best of the West that I've actually been able to play in. We have a plethora of staff and a plethora of volunteers. Thank you guys to Jen Sears, Krista Denbow, Tracy Horton, JJ Johnson, and all of my others. Shane, he's going to come down and help me out in the morning, and all of the refs as well. They're allowing me the opportunity to actually participate in the tournament instead of just running around and watching you guys and having my heart broken because I can't play. So I'm really looking forward to it.
For those who don't know, the backstory is on this. Stephen has been the event manager for a number of tournaments in SoCal, and every single one he has chosen not to play for two reasons. Number one was to help manage and run everything, as you just mentioned, but the other reason was for a sense of propriety. As the person running the tournament, he didn't feel it right to play in it until he started going to tournaments and seeing Matt and John Simon, the event managers, actually playing in the tournament. If I remember right, his response earlier this year, end of last year, was, "Fuck this, I'm going to play." That's why we saw him on the field in San Diego, the other tournament that the event managed this year, and that's why we finally get to see him on the field, Best of the West, the tournament that's been his and Cora's since the outset. Now he finally gets to play it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you actually get staff and resources that understand how to run an event and how to do a job to put on a successful, productive, tournament. So yeah.
Absolutely. No, Matt, you have that absolutely. You're talking to the wrong crowd here. Kickballers do not accept that there are people who put effort into making these things happen. We know that we just show up and they're going to happen, and if anything's wrong, we yell at you for it and shake our fists and gnash our teeth. There's no effort that goes into this. Stop talking horse shit.
All feedback is for the betterment of the circuit. That's all I'll say.
Well played, admin. Well played.
I appreciate you being on the show. It is now 5:59 Eastern Time on a Sunday, wonderful Labor Day weekend holiday. Have a wonderful time with your families, your friends, your bottles of Fireball. Good luck on Saturday and Sunday at Best of the West. We'll be tracking you from afar, and obviously all staff will be there. If you guys have questions, if you're watching this, you have questions about the Circuit Cup or the Women's Open, please ask around. They are there. They can answer any of the questions. If you can't get an answer, email us, info@kickball365.com. We'll take care of it. Stephen, good luck. Have a fun event.
Thank you, sir. Looking forward to it. Should be a great time.
Yeah. Patty, have
We'll
fun.
see you guys this weekend.
Take care.